Cherry is this game's speed-based character, relying a lot more on her really incredible mobility in this game, rather than just her raw damage, as compared to somebody like Axel, for example. Definitely one of the funnest characters that they've added into the Streets of Rage series, and hands down, probably the highlight of the new added characters in Streets of Rage 4 overall. More fun to play than Estel or Floyd. So for Mania mode for getting an S rank, she is one of the best characters, I would say, for getting an S rank in Mania mode, and I'm assuming also Mania Plus mode, just because of the fact that she can run. Being able to run is so great for chaining together the different fights. You just go from fight to fight very easily, just via her run. For other characters like Axel, again, for example, trying to go from fight to fight is insanely difficult, just because of the fact that he can't run. He has to find really clever ways to chain together fights. Cherry doesn't really have that problem. Same thing goes for Adam and Skate. They can kind of just very easily chain together all the different fights. And her moveset is absolutely fantastic. She has one of the best blitzes in the game. I would say probably both of her blitzes are some of the best in the entire game. I decided to go with her default blitz just because of the fact that it does have an insane amount of invincibility frames. You can use it to start combos, you can use it to extend combos, you can use it to end combos. But it's also got a lot of invincibility, and you can actually use it to pretty easily contest the jumping girls, who for a lot of characters are a huge problem. But with that blitz right there, Cherry can fairly easily take out jumping girls. Now, if you also do back throw into sound check like that, it gives you a decent amount of time to move to the next fight, which is insanely useful for this part of the first stage, the vertical part where you're trying to get to the part where the guys get run over. The enemy AI is pretty random, so being able to just have that extra second to try to, you know, just land an attack on these guys to keep the combo going is a big deal. You're gonna see me do back throw into sound check again in just a second here. So yeah, the blitz from Cherry is just absolutely fantastic. It's such a great move, seriously. So we go back throw into sound check. That gives me just a little bit more time to let these guys get run over. And I lead into a sound check right there just because as the guys get hit by the car, they'll pretty much instantly land in the sound check area of effect, which has a pretty big area of effect, sound check. Easily, I would say probably the best defensive special in this game, sound check. It's pretty strong, it OTGs. It lasts a pretty long time that you're invincible. Just pretty much the perfect move for beat 'em ups in general, like seriously. So I do a back kick on that because back kick actually gives you a little bit more health than most of her other moves. You recover a little bit more green health. Pretty good if you're trying to get the food items for a few extra points. The chickens obviously give you 1,000 points, which is a very significant amount of points if you have full health. Apples give you 300, which is pretty good too. I will say, in the grand scheme of things, in an arcade run, it can make a fairly significant difference, the food items. But compared to what you can get for doing these insanely long red combos, if the food items are going to cause you to drop a combo, possibly, definitely don't even bother. Just try to keep the combos going no matter what. Even if it means sacrificing the direct point bonus for the food items. Because as you can see, at the end of the first stage here, I walk out of the stage with a absolutely insane head start when it comes to getting an S rank. As far as it seems to be known, the amount of points that you need for an S rank in Mania mode is somewhere between 420 to 430,000 points. If you can get a full combo on the stage, as you're going to see in just a minute, you can actually start your arcade run with about 96,000 points or so. That's almost a quarter of the way there. Pretty important thing to know also is when you do beat the game gives you a pretty significant point bonus as well, depending on how fast you beat the game. And I believe there are probably a handful of other factors, probably how many lives you have left or something, I really can't remember, but typically you can get somewhere in the ballpark of about 30,000 points for free just for beating arcade mode. So even if you just finish your run with maybe 400,000 points, it's still worth it to actually let the game finish, because you might have enough points to get an S rank, depending on what kind of bonus you get at the end. So anyways, this is the first boss, Diva. Fairly easy boss, you know, with her being the first boss. For Diva and every single other boss in the game, just about, you can milk the bosses by letting their minions come in and killing the minions. When your combo's red, especially when it's been red for a few hundred hits at this point, the multiplier is so insane that killing these minions can add an absolutely incredible amount of points to your score by the time the combo finishes. You're taking out the Galcias there, getting probably at least a few hundred, maybe a few thousand points just for killing them each. And I could have killed the Donovans too for some more points. Probably could have pushed this combo into the 1,000 hit range, but I decided to take her out. And this is actually my first time ever getting a completely perfect no-hit full combo run on the first level. And yeah, it rewards you with an absolutely unbelievable amount of points. If you're just going for an S rank, doing this just once is probably more than enough by itself to get you to an S rank, or at the very least, as long as you're putting in some effort. And to other stages, like, you don't have to get a full combo every single stage just for an S rank. So take care of them fairly easily. Your defensive special can get you out of there with relative ease. The cop enemies aren't a huge threat. I will say they do have a surprisingly fast jab. So as long as you're just being a little bit careful, just mindful to stay out of their jab range, which I think even Cherry can do. Their jab is pretty short range. Even Cherry can kind of stay out of the jab range a little bit. You should be okay without getting hit. Now, here we go. So if you want to chain this part into the area with the black shirt cop ahead, you do want to kind of finish these guys on the right side of the screen and immediately start walking up. That gives you just enough time to walk up and grab this guy to keep the combo going. Out of all the stages to practice getting like a no-hit full combo on, I would probably say this is probably the easiest stage to do so. The first stage, it seems kind of simple, but the AI is so random in the first stage. Enemies are constantly just trying to move out of the way just long enough to avoid getting comboed. So this is probably the best stage, I would say, to actually practice going for like a no-hit run, maybe even a full combo on. And yeah, I did break the combo there. I don't know what I was doing. I just jumped on the guy's head and I just sat there. So not the end of the world. Because I did have such a great run on the first level, I just decided to keep the run going. And yeah, these enemies are fairly simple. Obviously, Donovans, you really can't just jump in on. They will anti-air you about 90% of the time. And you'll notice I seem to favor using only the first 3 hits of Cherry's combo most of the time. That's because the 4th hit in her combo is pretty slow, just slow enough on Mania mode, and especially Mania Plus mode, that the enemies will actually hit you in between that small gap between the 3rd and the 4th punch. Cherry's default combo is very unorthodox. If you can get the full combo to come out, and if you do get the 5th punch to actually happen, she's actually invincible throughout the entire animation of that punch, the 5th one, which is that Superman punch right there. It's an insanely strong combo if you can get it to happen. Very, very good on one-on-one situations where you have nobody to try to interrupt you out of the combo. These guys with their shields, they will usually hit you out of the fourth punch if you try to go for it. But yeah, if you can't land her fifth punch, you basically get a free combo afterwards. It does a lot of damage by itself, and it's just an unbelievably strong move. Just kind of unfortunate. It's very, very difficult to land in Mania mode in a lot of situations. You also notice fairly often I am canceling her blitz into her air special, which is kind of a new thing in the final patch that they gave this game. There we go. So yeah, just do the first three punches into the blitz. Because the fourth punch is so slow, it's probably not safe. But anyways, if you do her blitz into her air special, she has an unbelievable amount of invincibility during that whole interaction. And because I'm using her alternate air special, the special stage effects, it leaves fire on the ground, which the enemies will straight up just walk into a lot of the time, and then that knocks them down. And extends your combo. It's unbelievably useful. And the later stages, the special stage effects is just so unbelievably important, especially the fire, that I just have a really hard time going back to her default air special, which is also pretty good. But anyways, it's kind of a shame I did drop the combo in the beginning, but this is still a fairly good combo. It's comboing in this stage is seriously not unbelievably difficult. The majority of the cop enemies I find are extremely bulky. It's usually fairly easy to just, you know, keep the combo going on them because they are so big. It's you'll usually catch a bunch of them in your attacks, so you just get a lot of points coming in off of these long combos. But anyways, we're coming up against the Commissioner. Yet another fairly simple boss. The only thing that makes him kind of more challenging than the other boss is just usually just the cop enemies that spawn in. The black shirt cop guys are some of the most annoying enemies in this entire game. They obviously have that command grab that reaches like half screen. And while they're doing their command grab and the cop is and the commissioner is going for his command grab at the same time, it makes this very hellish sometimes, but anyway, there we go. I do the full combo there. You can do her charge punch after the main combo, which has insanely good like corner carry or stage carry or whatever you want to call it in this game. And yeah, we can also see how amazing the blitz in the air special is with that fire. It makes it extremely difficult for enemies to get in and actually hit you. And because he's almost dead, I did let the combo drop. I just didn't want to risk him actually hitting me with that move. I didn't want to drop the combo just so close to the end, just to add on a couple extra hits to finish him off. So that's the end of the stage. Let's see how many points we got here. 50,000 points for stage 2. Not bad at all. So I think I did some rough math. I think you need roughly in the ballpark of about maybe 35,000 points per stage if you want to get the 430,000 naturally without worrying about the bonus from beating the game. Very, very achievable. You do need, you can't just rely on only doing red combos in each individual fight. You do need to learn how to chain fights together somewhat. And as I said in the beginning, that is very easy for Cherry compared to a lot of the other characters. This is another great stage to practice for potentially learning how to do a no-hit run or possibly even a full combo through the whole stage. Relatively short level. And anytime you beat a level, by the way, without getting hit, you know, regardless of what kind of combos you did, if you beat a level without getting hit, the game usually gives you between 8,000 to 9,000 points. I think it depends on how much green health you have. If you have a lot of green health, you probably get closer to 8,000 points for beating the stage without getting hit. If you have no green health at all and you never got hit, the game will give you 9,000 points, which is a very, very significant amount of points. And yeah, her alternate offensive special is just incredible for crowds of enemies like these. When you have a huge like train or a conga line of enemies coming at Cherry, that offensive special is just fantastic, just due to the fact that it has extremely long range. It does pretty okay damage, and the hitbox is just fantastic. Because her jab has such pitiful range, probably the worst jab out of all the main Streets of Rage 4 characters. Situations like this where Cherry can't just move up or down into the group of enemies, where she has to kind of deal with her short range on her jab. Usually pretty tough, but this alternate offensive special is a huge boon. It helps her out very significantly. Yeah, sure enough, these Donovans will absolutely try to bully you with their longer jab range. It's just, it really sucks, but thankfully you do get to throw a few weapons here. And of course, if you have her alternate offensive special, that helps out quite a bit. Her default offensive special is also really good. Both of her offensive specials are pretty good here. But I just find that the range on her alternate one is so incredible. I just can't not use it. I do sometimes miss how the original offensive special can't OTG, which this one can't, which is pretty sad. But that's a full combo on the stage pretty much without the boss. 29,000 points, absolutely incredible. I do let the combo drop because this fight is unbelievably chaotic. I just hate the golden hair Galcias, these Super Saiyan Galcias, whatever the hell they are. I just can't stand them. So more often than not, I will actually just star in the beginning. Just immediately, I'll do a star move. Just kill the golden hair Galcias and do my absolute best not to let any more Galcias get powered up like this. I decided to just rely almost completely on the blitz instead. It worked out mostly okay, but I think just not messing around and just relying completely on the star in the beginning to not let any Galcias turn gold at all, like not even deal with them to begin with, is probably the better move. And this is an amazing move for Cherry. Really good on bosses. You can usually get at least 3 repetitions of that head grab combo. Pretty difficult to get into sometimes. In the game's current patch, enemies can just totally punch Cherry off of the boss's head. Whereas in the previous patch, it used to be almost totally invincible to most moves, but it's a really unsafe move now. And I just find it's kind of difficult to grab bosses, just because they just don't let you grab them usually. If you try to punch them, they'll just use their longer range on their move. Probably break your combo. Some bosses, if you just try to grab them, they'll just tech the throw, or whatever you want to call it. They'll just break out the grab immediately. So kind of hard move to get into, but if you can land her grab on a boss, you can do the like 4 punches on their head, jump off, land back on, do another 4 punches, jump off, land back on. Do that about 3 times. And it is very significant damage if you can actually land it on a boss. But yeah, unfortunately, at least for this run, I just had a hard time getting that combo going. If you practice a bit, you probably can get a lot off of that though. It's very powerful. One of Cherry's best moves even, which is saying a lot. So now we're introduced to the jumping girls. This is one of the main reasons why I did decide to use this blitz instead of the alternate one from the DLC. This blitz, and pretty much every blitz almost in the game, has a pretty significant amount of invulnerability. The jumping girls basically force you to use some form of invincibility or some kind of crazy move just to not get hit by their jump. And thankfully, Cherry's default blitz here is just absolutely incredible for dealing with that. It's like I barely even feel like I have a problem with the jumping girls most of the time because of this blitz. Yeah, this guy's just going at slide crazy. That's so ridiculous. Yeah, he just decided to just throw me in the water. There was nothing I could do there, so... This stage and every stage onwards, it is extremely difficult to no-hit the stage. As in beat the entire stage without getting hit at all. It's incredibly difficult from this stage onward, just because of the jumping girls. The formations of the enemies from here on out just get to be crazier and crazier. To give yourself a really good head start for getting an S rank, I would say if you're going to learn any stages to no-hit, or to even do a full combo, I would say just pick one of the first 3 stages. They're all relatively fairly simple compared to everything afterwards, and you can get a huge head start whenever it comes to getting an S rank. Which, as I mentioned earlier, is pretty much right around 430,000 points or so. So yeah, I try to get the head grab move. Here we go. Recover a bit of green health. It does a lot of damage, that move. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, these black shirt top guys, these Barneys, #1 threat in the entire game. They have to die immediately before everything else. If not, they just have to be acknowledged in some way. Like either stay away from them or just kill them. That command grab they have is unbelievable. So anyways, yeah, defensive special is really good for dealing with the jumping girls too. Either that or the blitz. Get the special stage effects to kind of continue that combo. I decided to go for the arcade machine here just because it's pretty safe. You can get a fairly significant amount of points pretty easily just from defeating Zamza here. Those points come from the fact that he gives you a star for beating him, which is worth 500 points. And then whenever you leave the arcade machine, you leave the machine with full health. You can collect the chicken and the apple outside for an extra 1,300 points. So in total, you get about 1,800 points just for beating this guy, plus whatever you get just for comboing him. Which is probably not a significant amount, but pretty easy, safe amount of a decent amount of points. Plus you get the money, so I guess really you get like a guaranteed 2,000 points just for doing the arcade machine, if you win. I mean, he is pretty difficult sometimes. But if you can practice doing the fight before the arcade machine, skip the arcade machine and just go straight into this fight, you can definitely get at least a few extra 100 or 1,000 points for keeping the red combo going for a long time. These enemies on this beach are pretty easy. You know, there's no Donovans at all. It's just the Signals and Galcias. So just a little bit of practice, you could definitely get an insane amount of points. But it is also worth acknowledging that the arcade machine is a pretty safe amount of extra points. Yeah, the music here is absolutely fantastic. So we get to Estel. Comboing Estel is unbelievably hard. I kind of just only focus on survival for this fight. And your combo thing goes down a lot just waiting for her to come up to. So even keeping the combo, even if you want to, is pretty difficult. But yeah, on her wake up, she will do an invincible spin kick if you're close to her. It's just... And as you can see, the fire there lasts for a very long time. It lasts probably a little bit too long, that fire. I don't think defensive specials work on the fire. I think the only way to actually be invincible from the fire, as far as I can tell, is just to do a star. So... yeah, she just doesn't like being comboed. If you practice with Cherry a little bit, you can definitely get some better combos going here than I got. This is a fight I just absolutely do not like. I just try to get it over with. You can beat her high priority moves with your own blitz or any other invincible move. I do favor the blitz into pyrotechnics into blitz combo. Pretty easy. Fairly weak. That is Cherry's main issue, is that her damage for the most part is very weak. With a little bit of practice, you can definitely get way more damaging combos than what I do here. If you land her neutral jump attack, either front, if you land it while facing frontwards on an enemy, they will bounce off the wall. You can actually get some pretty decent juggle combos going that way. If you land that move backwards on enemies who are behind you, they actually bounce off the ground. You can repeat that multiple times. Fairly strong and good. Although I do find if I try to rely on that, enemies will totally troll me and walk out of range of it and then just hit me on the way down. Something fun to practice though. The shenanigans with her neutral jump attack. Pretty strong. This stage, as far as I'm concerned, isn't really much more difficult than the last stage. The only thing that makes the stage a little bit more difficult really is the fact that at the end they do introduce the biker girls who try to charge in at you from a pretty far distance. They like snipe you. And their charge moves have like pretty high priority too. Your blitz can beat their charge move, but if your timing isn't great, they will find some way to hit you in any vulnerable spot that you have that's in your blitz that usually you would think you're safe. Sometimes they can hit you if you don't have perfect timing with the blitz. Not the end of the world, but I do actually drop a combo in that manner at the end of one of the biker girls of this stage, which is pretty sad, but it is what it is. And as far as I can tell, you actually get points for these guys hitting this hazard too. I hate these guys. They in this specific spot, they're kind of a problem to deal with, just because of the fact that if you try to blitz, you're just gonna run into that hazard and you're gonna break a combo, probably die. You're just completely abusing the blitz into the aerial special. Cherry is an absolute beast in this game. Yeah, we've got Joe Musashki in the background there. Lizard Cube, as far as I can tell, seems to be working on Shinobi now, which is pretty cool. I can't wait to see how that turns out. I did waste a lot of points right there, knocking them into the water. Enemies that just fall, you really don't get very many points for that. You only get points added to your multiplier for damage that you actually physically do with your own moves. So, for example, in the elevator stage at the end on a Y Tower, if you just knock all the enemies off the elevator, it's like that is really good for survival, but you will lose out on a lot of points. Oh, to be fair, by the time that you're at Y Tower, if you're already struggling in terms of points, comboing is so difficult at that point in the game. I usually consider resetting, but you know, you're also so close to the end of the game, sometimes it's worth just finishing the run. And yeah, this is kind of the most significant part of this level, this bar, which has an unbelievably filthy bathroom. Now that I get a chance to actually look at it. But yeah, we're about to get into the main gimmick of this level here, the biker girls. So this combo is going pretty well here. As you can see, the blitz is extremely dominant against their move. But you're going to see here that this blitz isn't completely invincible. It has some area where it's vulnerable, you'll see. But yeah, her blitz, and most characters' blitz is absolutely fantastic for dealing with that. Neutral jump is also pretty fantastic for beating them. You do a neutral jump into like a down attack on your way down. Get a combo on them, usually one of the main ways to deal with them. But yeah, as you can see, they beat my move there somehow. I don't know why. Maybe if I canceled that into the air special, might have been successful with that combo. Probably lost out on somewhere between maybe 3,000 to 5,000 points for dropping that combo. Not the end of the world, but yeah, not something you really want to see. And there's Caramel, the kind of main mini boss of the stage. I believe she's armored on her wake up. Sometimes she'll try to just go straight into her headbutt like that. Sometimes she will go for a shin kick, which doesn't do a lot of damage on its own, but it's really quick. It can break your combo. It can make you lose a lot of green health. Yeah, just putting in work with the blitz. And kind of taking advantage of Cherry's shenanigans there. Yeah, whenever Cherry does her... When Cherry does either a down attack while she's in the air, or if she bounces off their head from grabbing them, she will do that Superman punch from the top of the screen, which is a really good punch. It has really good priority. You do it in that way, and it can lead to a combo, at least to a juggle combo. So, pretty good move. I probably should figure out how to use it some more. But it is a shenanigan of Cherries that you can kind of get by without, at least on Mania mode. Probably Mania Plus mode might be a little bit better. Unfortunately, I think Barbon just completely outclasses Cherry in every single way possible. If you try to jab him to get into for a grab, his jab is just quicker, it has way better range. If you try to walk diagonally into him, he will still just jab you, or he'll do his little anti-air kick, which is armored, which will just beat you anyways. And Barbon is just a complete pain. I will say I have practiced against him in training mode. If you can get Cherry's head grab going, it is very strong against Barbon. I just cannot ever get in a situation to actually even grab him at all. Just not even for the life of me. So if you struggle with Barbon as well, just spamming the blitz, you know, finding opportunities where he's not armored, going for the blitz, getting just some little mediocre chip damage until he's actually dead. Sometimes that's all you can do. And I just completely panicked. He was totally kicking my ass, so I burned a star. Get to see the pretty good detail on Cherry's animation for a star move. She summons the pick in the same way He-Man wields his sword. Pretty cool. Attention to detail. But yeah, that's a stage I mostly don't like just because of Barbon. Just can't stand him. So now we're in Chinatown. Pretty iconic level. Get to play around with a bunch of weapons in the game here. I will say Cherry's animations for using items such as the spear and even knives and stuff is really good. She has a really good range on a lot of those weapons. Weapons like the sword I really just prefer to throw. Her animation for using the sword type weapons I think is pretty bad. She doesn't really use the full range of the swords or pipes or things like that. She kind of has like a really short range animation, which I think isn't very useful for fighting. But we're now introduced to the Muay Thai enemies. Kind of the more problematic enemies in the game. Their block move is incredibly strong, and their kick move is incredibly quick. Just... They're very unpredictable, is the thing. It's sometimes they just block forever, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just let you run in for a grab, sometimes they'll kick you. They're insanely unpredictable. Very hard to fight. Sometimes just spamming your invincibility moves is about all you can seriously do against these guys. Like, look at this guy just blocking, just non-stop. And then he eventually just stops for no reason, so... Yeah, defensive special is very, very powerful against the jumping girls. In a spot like this where you don't have a lot of room to blitz against them, defensive special is absolutely fantastic. Sound check just has such a great hitbox. It's above you, behind you. A pretty underrated element of sound check is, as far as I can tell, it seems to do full damage no matter where or how you hit the enemy with sound check. some defensive specials do way more damage depending on which side you hit the enemy. So for example, Streets Rage 4 Axel, his defensive special does more damage if the enemy is in front of him. And Streets Rage 4 Blaze, her default defensive special, I believe it does more damage if the enemy's behind her. So yeah, the fact that sound check does full damage no matter what is just incredible in my opinion. It's really an underrated element of the move. The Galaxias with the knives are extremely dangerous. Yeah, this is just an absolutely ass-kicking combo right there. I'm really happy with that combo. And of course he gets me out of it. He just... the enemy AI is just sometimes it's just so unforgiving in this game. But very easy section here. Muay Thai guy. These guys are by themselves. They're not a massive threat, but they will still sometimes surprise you with their insanely fast shin kick. Let's take him out. And we're coming up on some of the more challenging parts of the level here. Yeah, blitz to go right through their fire. That Durian, I have mixed opinions on. I used to hate that weapon, but the Muay Thai guys seem to not really block it very often. And it has a surprisingly good AoE properties, really. It just bounces to all the enemies. I don't know. Like, I even blocked it and it still hurt him, so that was actually pretty cool. These guys' main weakness is being thrown. If you can just walk into them diagonally and throw them, it does an absolutely insane amount of damage. And if you do hit them, and if they do counter you, you have about half a second to cancel into some sort of special move for the invincibility. There we go, just get the throw. Do the OTG with the aerial special effects. Pretty okay combo to conclude that fight. The sumo characters are extremely dangerous. Later on in White Tower, we meet their red variants, which are just absolutely out of control. You also got to fight them with some of the like super powered White Thai guys, which is just unbelievable. So as you can see, Cherry, the way Cherry uses the spear and weapons like the spear, she just uses it with such an insane range. It's absolutely like incredible. And yeah, this is just one of those moments where if you just have even one frame of vulnerability, these guys will totally hit you out of your move. I got lost that red combo. Probably lost about 3,000 to 4,000 points. You know, not really an insanely huge deal. Yeah, I tried showing off here doing the flip move. For some reason, I don't know what I was doing. I guess I just lost the combo. I was like just messing around. So very nearly died there. Another really powerful thing about going from a blitz into the air special is if you land a hit with the blitz, even if you are on like your final pixel of health, like you can see I am right here, you can just recover that extra tiny little scrap of health to do the special anyways. Get some more damage in, keep the combo going. And yes, I do like to take the butcher knife from the previous fight, bring it into this fight. You can just begin this fight throwing the knife. Get some free damage. And, you know, use that brief moment to grab the apples to recover some health. Use that to either just survive this fight or probably, you know, use specials as I'm doing here with your extra health that you have. Now we come across Shiva, who is just another boss where you can just blitz for the win. If you try to grab him, if you try to go for Cherry's head grab, pseudo infinite combo, he just takes the throw almost immediately. And he also techs the knockdown. Anytime he gets knocked down, he just techs it like that. Makes it extremely difficult to do any sort of combo against him. This is a very interesting interaction here. I just was spamming my blitz. He was spamming his spirit palm. Got some pretty okay damage on him there. Yeah, Shiva is just a boss who trying to combo him is unbelievably difficult. You know, which is pretty bad for Cherry because she's kind of a combo heavy character. The fact that she's kind of like denied from doing combos against Shiva, as far as I can tell, makes this fight pretty difficult to combo, at least. We get the sound check for it's pretty good damage. I could have continued that combo, but I thought he was just going to tech the knockdown or something. Yeah, down he goes. If you use your star move, you actually can hit the clones. When you hit them, they'll just burn up their timer. And they'll probably go away. And you can do your best to kind of keep some kind of combo going on Shiva. That's just another fight where I say just kind of just blitz. Just find your opportunities and then just blitz. And just get the fight over with so you can just move on to the next stage. Pretty amazing level. Skytrain here. I've seen a lot of people hate on this stage. I used to hate it, but this is hands down one of my favorite levels now. It's a very short level. Because of its really short length, I kind of recommend just practicing this stage a little bit. Yeah, you can probably practice it like a bunch of times in the span of like, I don't know, 15 minutes. You can get really, really good in a really short amount of time on the stage. Fairly easy to no-hit this stage, or at the very least get a kind of sort of full combo on the level itself. The boss is Estel, of course, who is just one of the hardest bosses in this game, in my opinion. So I do let the combo drop whenever she shows up, but you can do a full combo on the full stage itself, which I believe gives you about 19,000 points. And then just try to scrape together whatever combo you can get on Estel in the end, hopefully without getting hit, for that 8,000 to 9,000 point bonus. That's a very, very far way to getting that S rank. Yeah, we got another Barney over there. Black shirt top guy is his actual name. As long as you deny him his remote or his taser or whatever the hell that thing is, he does have a hard time really getting anything going against you. That guy did have his taser, so he was totally trying to just command grab me to hell and back. But yeah, that's a full combo on the stage. I actually could have grabbed the taser there and thrown it at Estel and continue the combo just a little bit more. Probably get a couple hundred extra points. But because I realized at this point that I had not been hit on the stage yet, I just was doing my absolute best to just totally not get hit at all. Not really worrying about going for like insane combos. Yeah, not like you can really combo her that well anyways. But just totally trying not to get hit. Yeah, on her wake up, I thought she was going to do her invincibility somersault move. So I defensive special there. Burned a star just out of desperation to just totally not get hit. And yeah, this was actually pretty intense. She threw a grenade just to make things as absolutely painful and stressful as possible. I chuck a grenade and of course it doesn't do anything. Man, this is just some crazy stuff. There we go. That's a no hit on the Skytrain. So, really fun level. Fighting Estel is a challenge for Cherry, in my opinion. I I would say using either Axel or Blaze. Those characters are insanely good for fighting Estel, just because Axel has way better range on his jab, so you kind of keep Estel out a little bit, and he has really good damage from his basic jab combo. And Blaze can kind of just go crazy with things like her air specials, either her default one or her alternate one. Both moves are good. Now we move on to the art gallery. Introduced to the chemical girls, Elizabeth or Victoria. I don't know what their names are. Yeah, Victoria. Yeah, it goes without saying, they blow themselves up fairly often. You can intentionally make them do that to get a lot of points. I believe you get the full points bonus for them blowing themselves up, which is a pretty big deal. You can just intentionally let them throw the bombs onto themselves or the other Victorias. Kind of let them just win the fight for you. You get, as far as I can tell, full points. And yeah, whenever they don't have their grenade, they do that shove move. And it is a very quick move. It comes out of nowhere. It doesn't do a lot of damage by itself, but it will take out all your green health and it'll break your combo, so it's a big deal. You really want to be extremely careful. Now this room is where I do recommend burning a star. I just burn it immediately, just raw. I don't even do any sort of special into it or anything. The Muay Thai guys in this area are unbelievable. They're just unbelievable. And they get so much move to run around, they just completely wreak havoc. So yeah, I just fully recommend just burning the star, just killing these guys. You know, there's no other point in this level where you really need a star except for this part here. So I let the combo drop because I could tell that Victoria wanted to break my combo with her shove. This is another instance where I realized I haven't been hit yet, so I was trying to go for another no-hit bonus on this stage. The red cops, these guys also have a command grab, but I believe they don't hurt you when they land it. They just grab you, they just hold you so that you get completely destroyed by whoever is near them. Fairly low tier enemies, these red cops. I really don't hate these guys at all. Trying to use a grenade. Get the green Victorias. And yeah, so the regular Victorias, the black jacket ones, they are killing their allies, which is just fantastic. Just get those free points. You know, just let the fight kind of finish itself. It's a shame that these Margarets here, their grenades can't hurt themselves. It's kind of a shame. It'll probably make the fight way too easy though, like no challenge at all if they could do that though. I don't know why I didn't pick up that chicken for the 1,000 points. I guess I thought I was like 1 pixel away from having a max health. It's chicken that kind of goes to waste. Yeah, the food bonuses, like the points, they do add up, even though I will say it's not worth dropping a combo. Just trying to desperately get every single food item. But yeah, it kind of hurts not having that 1,000 points from that chicken. And once again, because I haven't been hit yet, I do skip Shiva's machine, even though I could have punched the machine and taken the gold out of it. I just totally skip it, because this is a pretty easy boss fight here. I just really wanted that no-hit bonus. And yeah, Shiva in that arcade machine, I'll skip most of the time just because he is so tough. Like, he has to let you win. If he doesn't let you win, he is going to completely annihilate you. And I was really desperate for that no-hit bonus, so... Out of these two, the only one who's mostly a threat is the fire one. The poison one kind of applies a little bit of extra pressure. But the fire one is a actual threat. She can actually try to kill you. And her fire that she leaves on the ground is like really good area of denial on you. It kind of keeps you from moving into a certain area. And yeah, sure enough, I just completely underestimate the green one, and she does actually land her one move that can actually hurt you. So I just completely underestimated her. I lost a no-hit bonus. As long as you're just careful of both of them, you won't have that happen. You can definitely win this fight extremely easily without getting hit. And yeah, I could have gone for the head grab, pseudo infinite there. I think I tried to go for it here, but she's just totally not letting me do it at this point. So spamming the fire, making it impossible to get any sort of combo going. Here we go. Yeah, just finish her off with the sound check. Sound checks, OTG, and just sound check in general does a surprising amount of damage. Very strong move. It's art gallery down. Let's see how many points we got. 38,000, not bad. At this point, I think the last few stages, I mostly just focus only on survival. I actually think this is... I think Cherry's probably the worst character for this part here. With the slippery floor. You're gonna see that just the way that her momentum works, she just completely slip slides around. So I like teleported into their kicks. And that's just because when you do her air special effects move, she basically travels across the entire screen in like less than a second. It's unbelievable. It makes this almost impossible for Cherry, really. I would say for this level, it's mainly just focused completely on survival. Just don't lose any lives. I don't really recommend trying to get a big combo here for Cherry. Way more effort than what it's worth. Just only focus on survival, in my opinion. That's what I recommend. This guy just showing off his incredibly balanced ability to block. I tried getting fancy doing a backwards blitz there. It's because of the way the momentum works. If I did a forward blitz, it would have missed. It's just crazy stage. Crazy stage. I'm really glad they didn't reuse slippery floor, even in the DLC. I'm glad this is just a one-time thing that they only use here. So that Swiffer Wet Jet, or whatever the hell that thing is, very strong weapon. I think if you throw it about 2 or 3 times at any of these Muay Thai guys, they'll die. And it has really good range. It stuns enemies pretty well. They get locked in like a pretty crazy stun animation that lasts for like at least 1 or 2 seconds. And yeah, this part is just not a great part in this level in general. Interesting to note, it looks like when Cherry does her defensive special, it does cancel her momentum, so I guess if you do her defensive special, if you get kind of creative with it, I guess you could probably control her momentum in here a little bit better, but as far as I'm concerned, it's just straight up not worth it. I just recommend just getting out of there without dying, if possible. Yeah, the fire seems to be really good against these guys. They seem like they can't really block it in the same way that the Muay Thai guys can. Yeah, he just has that lightning quick kick. They are just crazy, the Muay Thai guys. They're crazy. Here are the white shirt ones. Probably, I believe they're the second most high tier version of these guys that you can see in the arcade mode. There's a green shirt version on Y Island, which I think is actually just slightly stronger. But I kind of just treat them the same way as I treat the jumping girls. If possible, just blitz into their knee, into their jump, or you can do a defensive special. Yeah, just get totally shot. For these guys, you can also use your blitz to go through the bullets or defensive special. Probably best to just totally sidestep the bullets in general, though. So the elevator part here is a part I really just like to get over with, seriously. I just dive kick off the elevator too. Yeah, comboing here is pretty difficult, but thankfully you can just choose to just go completely for survival, just knock them off the elevator. If you do break the elevator wall, it actually does drop a little bit of money for you, which you can use to kind of recoup a couple of the points that you would have missed for doing like a full combo. It just completely in survival mode here. Can be pretty useful to remember where the enemies fall down from. So as soon as they land, you can just react accordingly. Now, this is another interesting element of the RNG in this game, how the enemies sometimes randomly react. So look at how this guy reacts to this. So I hit him with the throw, block, and then it just works that time. Like, come on, you know? It's like, I appreciate the randomness, but sometimes it's just random for like no reason, it seems like. You know, it's like either it just should work or it shouldn't work. I don't know. Anyway. So take advantage of the blitz to kind of try to stand a chance against these guys. Knock him off the elevator, just get him off of here. I believe if you beat the final guy without knocking him off the elevator, you can hit him OTG off the ground. And that'll let you actually keep the combo going up into this fight against Max here. Max is another character who it's very difficult to combo. The saving grace for comboing Max for most characters is most characters can kind of hit Max just barely in his like spinning animation. Cherry has a very hard time doing that because we're a really short range jab. Other characters like Axel, Adam, Blaze, they can usually do their back attack, get pretty significant amount of damage on Max. And man, he's just going crazy here. Yeah, the star move is one of the only ways to actually combo him. You land a star move for any character, and it does actually break his like guard. You actually can combo him somewhat in that way. Pretty useful, but it's another fight that's kind of just very difficult to combo. Although I will say using your defensive special spam does do a huge amount of damage to him. And the star move can really help you kind of keep something going against him. Whenever Max leaves himself slightly vulnerable, try to land as many non-special hits as you can. Get just as much green health back as you can so you can spam your defensive moves. Kind of get some kind of sort of combo going against him. I think Max is like not as frustrating as a lot of the other bosses that I ran up to this point. Like he's way more fair in my opinion than Barbon. But anyway, this is another level where it just gets unbelievably difficult. We're going to be introduced in just a minute to the Golden Pants Donovan. Just probably the most cheap, overpowered enemy in the game. For now, we just gotta deal with this cheap, overpowered enemy. Just not really. This guy's not that overpowered and cheap, but it is pretty annoying dealing with his blocking shenanigans. Condor. I mean, just look at this guy go. He just blocks like a champion. Yeah. And there he is, Golden Pants Donovan. Z. This guy's a complete nightmare to fight. Especially for Cherry, who spends a kind of significant amount of time in the air. If you try to do her blitz in the second half of the blitz, he will armor through the blitz and just completely punch you out of it. If you're staying next to him when he wakes up, he will also just do an armored uppercut, which you can defensive special through that, but it's still, it's a huge problem. If you try to throw a weapon at the Golden Pants Donovan, he will catch it. Then he'll probably try to just throw it back at you, which is ridiculous. But he is a probably about as high tier of an enemy as you can possibly find in this game, in my opinion. The only enemy who I'd probably say is slightly more challenging than a Golden Pants Donovan is probably the rolling fat guys and probably the robots. And of course, when you get to Y Island, you got to fight just a whole ton of fat guys, Golden Pants Donovans, and robots. It's really something else. So yeah, I like to use her offensive special here. Very, very good for keeping these guys away from you and hitting the Wrecking Ball at the same time. This Wrecking Ball is absolutely incredible. It is very, very useful for you. If you hit it with the basic attack of this little hammer, it actually sends a pretty significant amount backwards to hit the enemies. You can throw it, but see, that guy caught the hammer out of the air, which is just unbelievable. I did like a double take when he did that. And this is probably the main part in the level where I would recommend just burning a star. This fight is unbelievably... This is unholy, this fight. The enemies will just completely gang up on you, and they will melt your health in less than a second. This is unbelievable, this fight, really. So, yeah, burn a star pretty much as soon as these guys show up, burn a star. Try to get them to get hit by that Wrecking Ball. Just try to just melt these guys as quickly as possible. I burn another star, too. It's for good measure. It's just an absolutely unbelievable fight. I'm really glad I was able to get it out of the way as fast as possible. If you let these guys crowd up on you, I cannot even mention how fast they just burn your health down. It's seriously unbelievable. It's mind-blowing. This is a fairly interesting kind of sort of exploit. You can hit the Wrecking Ball to recover your health. I really didn't want to get hit. I wanted the point bonus from the food, so I was trying to get my green health back to eat the food to get 1,300 extra points for the apple and the chicken. Yeah, just do this. Just grab a weapon and hit it. If you do the jabs like I was doing before, it's very slow. That'll actually start eating into your time bonus, which will probably make you lose points if you wait so long to do the jabs to get all your green health back. If you pick up the hammer, you can get your health back very, very quickly. And just get the food items, get the points for that. When you have full health, grab these food items, get another 1,300 points. Here we go. I get to show off the head smash move. This guy lets you get a ton of repetitions. Like, this is like, what, 6, 7? You get about 7 repetitions on this guy. It almost killed him. So, let's see here. This guy belongs in Street Fighter. This is not a beat-em-up character, in my opinion, with all this fireball spam. So I would fit right in with Street Fighter with like characters like Sagat, Dalsim, I don't know. Any character that likes to just sit back, spam projectiles, Guile. But yeah, as far as like belonging in Streets of Rage, I don't believe it. This ain't a Streets of Rage character. Now, going for the head grab pseudo-infinite move would be a good move again after that first time, but it's such an unsafe move when there's other enemies on the screen, so that's why it's really hard to go for all the time. In the previous patch, that move was almost completely invincible. Only dedicated anti-air moves could knock Cherry off of an enemy's head. So, you know, it's a very hard move to go for these days. But when you can land it, it is unbelievably strong. It melted away about 70% of that guy's health bar. So, okay, for this elevator section, I would recommend practicing this for a full combo off of the elevator only. You can get a pretty significant amount of points. I forget if it's like maybe 9,000 points for beating this in a full combo on the elevator itself, or maybe 19,000 points. I really can't remember. But you get a pretty huge amount of points for beating this elevator and defeating all these guys clean. And with just a little bit of practice, you can definitely do it fairly consistently. Sadly, I did obviously get hit and lose almost all my health. I almost died pretty much immediately. And yeah, Cherry's air special is very, very good for avoiding these fire grenades. So you can just use it to just totally get out of there. It's really a great move. Let the Victorias kill each other. This little dance. I forget that there's money there and I pick it up. And that's, in my opinion, the only really good scoring opportunity in this entire level is that elevator. The rest of the stage, I just recommend only focusing on survival. Just do whatever you can just to not get hit if possible. They throw these blue electric potion things exactly where you're going to be. I just, as far as I'm concerned, they're predicting the future. I don't think it's possible to dodge these every single time. And I don't really think you get a lot of points for beating this fight here with like just one big red combo anyways. So I think it's really just worth not even worrying about comboing too much. Just focus on survival. Just getting completely trolled by these lightning grenades. So worth mentioning, there's an apple in that barrel that I broke down there. Slightly hidden. It's pretty dark in that spot, pretty hard to see, but that apple is there and it can save your life. There's just not a lot you can really do here to maximize fighting these guys. It's just very difficult because of the grenade spam everywhere. So I even burned a star there just to avoid getting hit by the grenade. It's just crazy. It is so crazy. So they kill that guy for me. And then they kill themselves. It's just unbelievable. So trying to keep the combo going slightly here. Now there's a barrel up on the top there. If you can hit that after picking up these items, you can't keep the combo going from the last fight into this area. These white Galcia guys, these Jonathans, they have a lot of health. You can get a lot of points off of them if you can defeat them cleanly. I knocked them off the plane, so I lost out on a fairly significant amount of points, but I just realized at this point I already had more than enough points for the S rank, so I was just ready to just kind of close out the run here, kind of just get out of here. So I'm pretty happy with this run. It actually put me in a 280th place on the leaderboards on Steam. I'm extremely happy with that. And as you can see, I mean, there were a lot of mistakes made in this run. Definitely not like a flawless run by any means. With a little bit of refinement, I could definitely push a Cherry run way beyond this, but I said I just wanted to kind of just show off what I knew here, kind of maybe help anybody else who might be struggling to get an S rank on Mania mode. As far as I'm concerned, Mania mode is the true final difficulty of Streets of Rage 4. Mania Plus mode is just too ridiculous. On Mania Plus mode, if you do anything that leaves you vulnerable for even just one frame, the enemies will find that frame and hit you every time. You just have no choice in Mania Plus mode but to just spam your invincibility moves non-stop. Pretty unfun in my opinion. I just think it's a joke difficulty. I don't really consider that to be like actually playing Streets of Rage anymore. You're just playing a totally different game. So Mania mode is where it's at. Even then, I do think the hardest difficulty, like the difficulty that's actually called hardest mode, is probably the real, true difficulty. Like peak difficulty, so I don't know. Mania mode is just hands down the most fun mode, though. It's slightly broken, but not to the point where it's just not fun anymore. Mania Plus mode is just so unfun. It's just so hard to the point where it's just not fun anymore. So. For those jumping girls earlier, they have a really shallow jump. That's why I let the combo drop earlier. I just do not like fighting them whatsoever. They just are one of those characters that will just straight up hit you almost no matter what. So let the combo drop just to keep the small amount of points. We're here just fighting them. Gonna take on Mr. Y. Pretty easy boss, Mr. Y, but if you do underestimate him, he will break your combo. Probably very difficult to actually be killed by this guy, but as you can see here, look at that. I just totally underestimate him and he breaks my combo. So he's a really good boss for doing the head grab pseudo infinite move, which I think I try here. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I think I accidentally dropped it. I think I just pushed punch just one too many times. Totally dropped it. But just kind of comboing him fairly well here. Sound check OTG, do some extra damage. Yeah, just finish him off with the OTG. And we are looking pretty good score-wise. Like I said, we did reach S rank in this run. At least 1 or 2 levels before this. So it's time to just finish the game. We're on a Y island. I just scrape out as many extra points as possible here. So for this stage, I would say the only parts of the stage which I think are really viable for getting like really good score is this area. If you can kind of link this fight into the bridge fight up next, if you can get through both fights cleanly, get a very significant amount of points. After you get through this area, and then the bridge section with the biker girls and jumper girls, it just gets to be way too difficult to the point where I would say getting like a really good score is straight up way more effort than what it's worth. So you get 5,000 points just for beating the Galcias, and if you can combine that with this fight here, you definitely get probably at least an easy 10,000, maybe even, who knows, probably 12,000 points. I don't know what you get, but you get something pretty significant. After this fight, I just go into complete survival mode. Even though I have 9 lives, you know, if you have this many lives, you probably would only get a game over if you just put down the controller at this point. Yeah, she just breaks my combo, which totally sucked, but the headbutt move just somehow can beat Cherry's blitz. It finds whatever weak spot there is in it, and it just beats it if you're not careful. Also curious as to how they get to this island with those motorcycles when you need a plane to get here. But I guess that's not that important. So yeah, just complete survival mode from here on out. These guys are even armored when they seriously don't need to be. Got the green shirt Sparrow enemies, totally top tier, super cheap enemy. Yeah, just like jumping girls, trying to rely on blitz and defensive special can help you get through those guys hopefully somewhat painlessly. Did a nice triple kill there. And I just completely waste that chandelier as well. So, yeah, you're gonna see here what I'm talking about with the Golden Pants Donovans and how they can just completely armor through a lot of Cherry's moves because her moves are, you know, in the air. See, he armored through it. He did his uppercut, and I hit him way later, and he still totally armored through it. It's insane. Like, seriously. Yeah, they get that end of the game kind of final form buff. They're very powerful, huge threat. I'm looking at this now. I see he armored through my move twice too, and that guy armored through and just completely beat my move. But probably not a bad idea actually to use a star there. Now I'm looking at it, so I don't know. Probably potentially pretty good amount of points in this area too. But yeah, see, they just are completely armoring through my blitz now. It's just, the move is just kind of useless against these guys. Somewhat, it's not consistent. Thankfully, it seemed to have killed them, so they couldn't even armor through it. Now, I think if I did my back attack on this armor, I would have had enough health to get the 1,000 points from that chicken. Cherry's back attack, when using it to break items, gives her a lot more health back than her jabs. So you can use that fairly often to get a couple extra food point bonuses. This is another segment where I think getting a good combo is so inconsistent, I just don't even consider it to be possible, so... Even though the previous combo was a green combo, I let it drop. Just trying to milk out every single point that I could get in this run. Let that combo drop as well. I didn't pick up the apple to let the combo keep going. It's just an unbelievably insane segment here. That guy walks faster than Cherry runs. It's unbelievable. Like, seriously. This is probably the most difficult section of the entire game. This is a section where the green fat guys, they actually do damage all the other fat guys, including the other green ones. So as long as the green guys are alive, this fight is somewhat on a timer. As long as you kind of just survive long enough, they will kill each other. And now there's just one left. Just got to pick him off. Just find whatever opportunity you have to actually beat him up. There we go. These guys are fairly simple. You can blitz through their fire. You can defensive special through their fire. Fairly simple, fairly easy. These guys are much harder. Try to keep them grouped up if possible, like that. And don't get overconfident like I did. Just, yeah, I guess they armored through it or something, and they just slapped me out of that combo. This is the final part. This is the final insanely difficult part of the game here. They will kill each other if you let them roll around long enough. They will kill each other. Try to help them along as much as you can. Yeah, just try to scoop up as many points as you possibly can. But in terms of safety, like if you're on like your final life or something, you can just kind of let them just kill each other. Just not even worry about it. So start using my back attack to get some health back. Like the full point bonuses for the food. 1900 points for the 3 apples and the chicken. Pretty good amount of points for free. We got this guy, just tries to end your run, just tries to break whatever combo you might have going. Mrs. Y is unbelievably easy. Just you can just blitz through her charge attacks. Almost any character can just use invincibility on their blitz to hit her in the dash attack in the middle of it. Some characters like Axel, you might, to make it a little bit more safe, you can probably do a blitz into it and then cancel that into like defensive special possibly. Neutral jump is also really good against her dash attack. In this game, when you do a neutral jump, you do actually have some frames of invincibility, which is unbelievably useful. Especially useful for some of the classic characters who are a little bit more limited in their defensive options. But yeah, for the Streets of Rage 4 characters like Axel and even Adam, even Blaze, they can just do blitz, cancel the blitz into a special. For Cherry here, just complete blitz spam is just completely super viable, pretty good. Kind of curious to wonder how good the head grab pseudo infinite move is in this fight. Just look at that guy run, that's unbelievable. That guy's walking and he's like faster than Cherry at full run. Like our final chicken. Well, there's one more chicken, but anyway. Get that little pseudo infinite going on that guy. It's time to finish this. Taking on the Y twins. Just once again, kind of just focusing for the most part just on survival at this point. I find prioritizing Mr. Y much better than prioritizing Miss Y in the beginning. Mr. Y just kind of just trolls you. He is constantly shooting bullets at you, throwing rockets of all things. He likes to spam grenades all over the battlefield. If you just take him out as fast as possible, it's a lot more manageable to just deal with Miss Y's occasional dashes and her occasional attempted command grab. So there we go, don't gotta worry about his projectiles anymore, he's gone. Gotta kind of keep an eye on Mrs. Y, as well as the robot. This music is absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, they could have used that robot in the beginning of the game. I don't know. I have a ways to save it for the absolute last, most desperate moment, but I guess it is what it is. So, yeah, as I find out here, Cherry's back attack is probably the highest DPS move she even has for fighting this robot. So, when you have an opportunity to, when you're not being poked by Mrs. Y, you can just spam the back attack. Absolutely melts the robot's health. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. So, both twins are gone, nothing is really in your way, just kind of take out the robot, avoid its attacks, which are really heavily telegraphed. Yeah, Cherry's back attack, just secret OP move. Supposedly Cherry's back attack can be cancelled into her air special, which is pretty interesting. Probably very strong with her original air special. Get a really quick way to clear the enemies away from you. So, yeah, time bonus of 44,000 points, health bonus of 7,000 points, and a star bonus of 1,500 points. So, just for beating the game, you get an unbelievable bonus. That time bonus is absolutely mind-blowing. 44,000 points. That's a game changer. So if I had only 39,000 or 390,000 points, that would have still been enough to get an S rank. And it just pushed my run up to, as you can see there, number 280. I guess on the planet, on Steam at least. So, unbelievably happy with this run. And yeah, Cherry is a incredible character. Really hope that She comes back in Streets of Rage 5, or whatever they call the new 3D Streets of Rage as well. Streets of Rage Revolution, I don't know what they're going to call it, but... Thank you for watching. I hope this has been helpful to anybody who's trying to get an S rank with Cherry on Streets of Rage 4. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video or stream. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. See you next time.